Okay, hello friends. Today we are here. We are here to talk about our new channel. So our new channel is called Music, Movies, and Adda, and here we will be, focusing mainly on, as the name suggests, we'll be talking about music. We'll be talking about movies and any general topic that we want to discuss. So today, before we get started, let me quickly welcome my friends on the call. I have Nilanjan, again a huge music lover, movie lover, and my brother Avik. He's on. He again is a huge music and movie lover, like a lot of us. Thanks to the two of you for joining our introductory call to this channel. And our topic for today is Kishore Kumar, the mad genius. Of course, Kishore Kumar, he's one of the singers who's universal favorite of most people, if not all. So what better person to start with in our new channel? So let's get started, guys. Kishore Kumar is our topic, and let us start by talking about a little bit about Kishore Kumar's background and some of that information about Kishore Kumar.
No,
So,
Abhishek, I suggest that we, since this is a topic on Kishore Kumar, let's start uh, by singing a song, right? I can present it.
Okay.
The way he used to introduce himself in his stage performances.
Excellent idea. Excellent idea.
Sounds
Go for
good.
it. Go for
Okay.
it.
I don't have a track, so খালি গলাতেই গাইবো।
হ্যাঁ, একদম।
प्यारे बंधुओं, संगीत प्रेमियों, मेरे नाना नानियों, मेरे दादा दादियों, मेरे नाना नानियों, मेरे दादा दादियों, मेरे काका काकियों, मेरे मामा मामियों, मेरे काका काकियों, मेरे मामा मामियों, मेरे यारो यारियों, मेरे बच्चे बच्चियों, मेरे यारो यारियों, मेरे बच्चे बच्चियों, आप सबको किशोर कुमार का सप्रेम नमस्कार। अरे मैं जो यहाँ आया हूँ, ये आप सबका प्यार है, दुलार है, सत्कार है। अरे अब ज्यादा वक्त न लेते हुए किशोर कुमार गाने को तैयार है। हाँ, so this is how he used to introduce himself in his stage performances.
Excellent. What better way to start this podcast? Excellent, Nilanjan. Okay, so let's get started. So we are talking today about Kishore Kumar, Abhash Kumar Ganguly, as a lot of us know him as, and he was born in 1929, 4th of August. He was born into a family. He had three other siblings, two brothers and a sister. His other two brothers are they were well-known actors, Ashok Kumar and Anup Kumar. And his sister was not in the movie industry as such, but he was the youngest of the four. And he was born into a family where his father was a lawyer and his mother was a homemaker. His mother was from a very influential Bengali, affluent family. And he was initially based out of Khandwa, Madhya Pradesh. So that is a little bit about Kishore Kumar's initial beginnings. Prince, Nilanjan, anything you guys want to add?
Yes.
No, I'm good. I mean, just an absolute genius.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't need any introduction though.
Yeah,
That's true.
Stories. I mean, if you hear, Amit Kumar's interviews, you get to know a lot about his father, Kishore Kumar, and I am an ardent fan of both of them. So I keep on, listening to or watching Amit Kumar interviews on YouTube. So as we all know, Kishore Kumar himself was not a trained singer.
Yeah.
Okay. But the story goes that uh, in his childhood, he cut one of his fingers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That was one thing I wanted to discuss. Good that you're bringing it up,
Yeah.
Nilanjan.
He cut one of his fingers and he cried and cried and cried and cried for days. And people say, and actually his elder brother, Dada Muni Ashok Kumar, according to him, that was the time his voice actually got cleared and he got the necessary reverse for a lifetime.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many stories. The other interesting aspect was, Kishore Kumar as a child, he wanted to sing, but Ashok Kumar would often discourage him. Ashok Kumar would say that, you are not a trained singer. If you want to sing seriously, you need to get classically trained. So there's a lot of interesting stories. Today for one segment, I want to talk about some Kishore Kumar stories after he became famous. There are a lot of very, very funny Kishore Kumar stories. Amit Kumar has mentioned some of those stories, in his other interviews. So we'll come to that. Before that, a little bit about Kishore Kumar, how he started in the industry. So he obviously started as an actor. His first foray into movie singing was in 1960, if I'm not wrong. His first song was from a movie called, actually, no, not 1948. It was a movie called Ziddi, where he sang a song called Marne Ki Duaein Kyun Mangu. That was his first foray into Bollywood. Of course, in his initial part, he did a lot of acting roles. His main, I would say, success started and coincided with Rajesh Khanna's rise to fame. Of course, he sang a lot of songs for Devanand. There were a lot of memorable Devanand songs, but Kishore Kumar really became a superstar singer once he started singing for Rajesh Khanna. So that is a little bit of background of Kishore Kumar's rise to fame.
I have a story regarding his probably his first music assignment.
Go for it. Go for
So
it.
I heard it in one of the Ashok Kumar interviews where so Kishore Kumar wanted to be a hero, right? Because his aim to come to Bombay and stay with Ashok Kumar was to become a hero.
Mhm.
So one day what was happening was Ashok Kumar was a big star and a director had come to narrate a script to Ashok Kumar, and while he was narrating the script, he could hear someone singing, and so he kept getting interrupted by that song, right? And then finally he was like, Dada Muni, who's singing? So Ashok Kumar said that, अरे ये तो पागल है, मेरा भाई है, नहाते हुए गा रहा है. तो डायरेक्टर ने बोला नहीं बट काफी अच्छा गाता है. तो अशोक कुमार ने बोला नहीं उसको सिंगर नहीं बनना, उसको हीरो बनने आया है, तो उसको हीरो वाला रोल चाहिए मूवीज में, वो गाना वाना नहीं गाएगा. सो डायरेक्टर ने बोला नहीं बट बहुत अच्छा गाता है, मैं उससे बात करना चाहता हूँ. तो then he spoke to Kishore Kumar and he convinced him to earn some money by singing, and then I'll launch you in a movie, and that's how he got a break.
Yeah, lots of interesting stories. Again, Kishore Kumar's early influences, I mean, he was, of course, all of us know, he was very heavily influenced by K.L. Sehgal. He used to consider him, K.L. Sehgal as his guru. And then he was also very influenced by Rabindranath Tagore and his works. So these were two of his early influences. Kishore Kumar has repeatedly mentioned K.L. Sehgal. He used to listen to a lot of K.L. Sehgal songs. And of course, he used to even mimic K.L. Sehgal really well. So those were some of his early influences. One really interesting fact about Kishore Kumar, Kishore Kumar, when he started acting and he was trying to, make his mark as a singer, Mohammad Rafi and Talat Mahmood were ruling the roost, right? More Mohammad Rafi, but I mean, and Mohammad Rafi and Talat Mahmood in a lot of ways were very similar in their styles. So the only way Kishore Kumar could break that monotony was, he had to become versatile. And Kishore Kumar, what he did, he brought in a lot of Western influences. He brought in, yodeling and scatting and all that. and he had to bring all those influences in so that he could make a mark and he could stand out. His journey is very interesting, and I think his journey is a lot like Asha Bhosle's, because Asha Bhosle also had to do something similar, because Lata Mangeshkar was kind of ruling the roost, and Asha Bhosle had to get more versatile. So that's something really interesting, and we all know famous Kishore Kumar yodeling and scatting that he has done on a number of songs that made him stand out. So before we go anywhere, I know it's a very broad question, but let's start with you, Nilanjan. What about Kishore Kumar do you like? And just talk through his influences on you while you were growing up, and what are the attributes that you think make Kishore Kumar stand
out? Mostly his sad songs. See, we know he's he's an outstanding singer everywhere. I mean, in all the domains. But what has appealed to me is being an untrained singer, right? The way he used to, bring in pathos and feelings into the sad songs is unparalleled, right? So that is one aspect which has appealed to me the most, and those are the songs which I like also the best, yeah, amongst all his songs. If you want to, my most favorite song of Kishore Kumar, right, is, although it's a very difficult question and an answer, but it's Zindagi Ka Safar.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of philosophy behind that song, right? But his his attitude towards life was very, very positive, right? He was a money minded person, and rightfully so, because he got cheated a lot,
Uh-huh.
right? But I think a mad genius, and every one of us should at least inculcate within ourselves a percentage of that madness.
Agreed. Prince?
I think our entire life, if anyone is into music, especially from India and growing up in the 90s or earlier than that, of course, because Kishore was dominant in the 70s and the 80s. I mean, most of us, when you ask us who is our all-time favorite singer, if you have a little bit of understanding of music, you would say Kishore Kumar or Mohammed Rafi, of course, because they both are probably the giants of the singing industry. So my first thoughts of Kishore Kumar is that a person with a lot of self-confidence, because he had an established singer like Mohammed Rafi in the industry before he came in, and Mohammed Rafi was ruling the roost, as you said, and so and plus Kishore Kumar was untrained, and he wanted to become a hero. So I mean, what symbolizes Kishore Kumar is I think supreme confidence and the aura he had. I mean, he was a complete entertainer. So on stage, he was not only a good singer, but he was an entertainer. So for me, he's like
Complete package.
Complete package, and people keep quoting Raj Kapoor as the complete entertainer, but I think Kishore is the complete entertainer, because he could sing, he could compose music, he could act, he could do mimicry. So he, by far, I think he's probably the most talented person or talented celebrity I know, because he could do everything. Yeah. And of course his voice quality is something which is unmatched. I think no one even till date can match his voice quality. And like Nilanjan Das said, that people know him for his happy song, but even I like some of his sad songs, and that's how supremely good he was. He could match Mohammed Rafi in his sad songs, then he could match someone. I mean, he could also sing a very happy and chirpy song and pull it off, and with all of this without being trained, and that's almost like a haha, I'm not trained, it's like a spit on the face of all the trained actors, singers, who think training is, and classical training is absolutely important, but you cannot possibly logically follow Kishore Kumar's path. You cannot, because he was just blessed with the talent, right? So just astounding talent.
Yeah. Excellent points. So my thought on Kishore Kumar, I mean, the first thing that stands out is his baritone, right? when he sings, you feel as if a masculine voice, a masculine hero is singing. He's possibly, the best suited hero's voice. If you think about a hero, the first voice that comes to mind is Kishore Kumar, right? And again, both of you are really good singers. I mean, much better than I am. But my whatever understanding I have on music, what Kishore Kumar did really well, those easy straight notes which we think are easy to hit, Kishore Kumar would hit it exactly the way the straight note should be hit. Nowadays, if you listen to music, they do a lot of variations and all that, but they're not able to hit one straight note. A person who could hit that straight note really well, that connects with the singers. That's what a lot of experts used to say about Kishore Kumar. Kishore Kumar's voice connected with more viewers. That's why he's most popular, because of that straight note that Kishore Kumar used to hit. Ashok Kumar actually had a scientific reason why Kishore Kumar was so popular. He used to say that Kishore Kumar's voice would hit the most sensitive note of a music note, and that's why it's most pleasing. So if you look at a sine wave, his note would hit the maximum amplitude, which was a very interesting way to describe Kishore Kumar's voice. The other thing that really stood out about Kishore Kumar, which I don't think anybody else was able to replicate, especially which is very important for playback singing, according to me, is how Kishore Kumar used to modify his voice based on the hero. I don't think any other actor or any other singer has ever been able to do that. A lot of times, and I don't know if that holds good for you guys, but for me, if there is one song which I have not heard of Kishore Kumar, by the style of singing, at least I think most 60-70% of the time, I think I would be able to guess if he sang that for Rajesh Khanna versus Devanand versus Amitabh Bachchan. So, which was an amazing quality, right? Because I don't think anybody else used to think on those lines. Now, playback sing, and I mean, he was such a genius that he used to inculcate that in his mind, that, if I'm singing for Amitabh Bachchan, I better sound like him. Which is surprising that nobody else thought about it. I think that was an amazing quality that he had, which was very important for playback singing. Because what is playback singing? You are basically trying to sound like the hero, right? And Kishore Kumar, I think Kishore Kumar did it better than anybody else. Right?
I agree.
Now, the other thing I think we should talk a little bit about the Kishore Kumar Mohammad Rafi comparison. So, of course, over the years, there is a Kishore Kumar, bandwagon, and there's a Mohammad Rafi bandwagon. Of course, Mohammad Rafi was an excellent singer. He was trained and all that. But Kishore Kumar, somehow in the 70s, when he started picking up, he kind of outstaged Mohammad Rafi. I think the reason, again, being, like I said, his was the hero's voice, and 70s and 80s were the times when, there was a lot, even the movies that were being made were, they started making action-oriented movies. The hero was more masculine, and that kind of worked really well for Kishore Kumar because of his voice, his throw. So 70s and 80s, I think he almost outstaged Mohammad Rafi. Again, Mohammad Rafi, Kishore Kumar, in the public mind, there was a lot of rivalry, but the fact is Kishore Kumar and Mohammad Rafi, they got along really well. If you hear Amit Kumar's interview, he's mentioned it quite a number of times that they used to really love each other. Kishore Kumar would reach out to Mohammad Rafi if he needed help with something. Mohammad Rafi would talk to Kishore Kumar. So they had excellent camaraderie. And admittedly, they did not sing a lot of songs together. But, if you have to ask me, one song I really like of Kishore and Mohammad Rafi together was, of course, the Dostana song. Bane Chahe Dushman Zamana Hamara. That was a really good song. And then they have a few more songs. But again, it's interesting that at that time, there were these two people who were at the top, but they still got along really well. So which is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's all media generated, right? It's sensational reporting, and it makes good news, right? So if two big stalwarts are being pitted against each other, then it just makes good news and sensational news. So I don't blame the media, but that's how it is. But yeah, even I've heard stories from Mohammed Rafi's son in some of the interviews where he said that they both had absolutely no issue, and they would actually treat each other to good food when they would like each other's songs, and they would call them and tell them that I've liked this particular song of yours. So
Yeah, yeah. Now we can't talk about Kishore Kumar and not talk about his stories. So I have quite a few, but Prince and Nilanjan, if you have any stories about Kishore Kumar and his antics, go ahead and let's talk about a few stories of Kishore Kumar. I have quite a few, so I'll let you guys start first, and then I'll go last.
Yeah, I think one story. I mean, I think it was. See, Hope '86 was kind of his last stage performance
Yeah,
in Kolkata, right? But
yeah,
that was not his kind of. It was not a Kishore Kumar night.
right,
He was one of the artists among many.
yeah,
But his last stage performance as his solo, his Kishore Kumar night was at Netaji Indoor Stadium. I think it was in '84 or '85. I don't exactly remember.
uh-huh,
But he had two demands out of the producers of the show.
uh,
One, he would enter the stage in a palki. Okay, so there
uh-huh,
was a special palki or palanquin for people who don't understand Bengali. Palki is a traditional transportation, which is kind of a human born transportation. It's like a box with two sticks sticking out, um, found in the olden days. So he said that I would enter the stage in a palki or I won't sing. So that was one of his demands to perform in that show. Not money, not in, so that's secondary. The other demand was that there needs to be cans of rasgulla on the stage, and he would eat rasgulla as he was performing. So this was one which is kind of funny. The other one was, I think he had some kind of a problem with one of the producers. Okay,
uh-huh,
and in Bombay. So it so happened that he had asked Sunil Dutt not to do something right
uh-huh,
with that producer. Hmm. So, but Sunil Dutt did not listen to him. I think I'm more or less certain the figure was Sunil Dutt, but I may
uh-huh,
be wrong.
uh-huh.
Then he said, okay, if you do this, I am going to go out in the town in my car wearing a towel. And he did just that. He reached the particular studio for a recording wearing a towel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very similar on the stories. Similar lines in the stories I have as well. Prince, do you have anything? Prince, you're on mute.
it's an anecdote from one of the interviews Lata Mangeshkar did of Kishore Kumar.
Uh-huh.
So Lata Mangeshkar used to do a radio, or sorry, I think it was a video interview series she used to do in the 80s. So one of the stories was how they met for the first time. So both had been called to. I think Devanand also had a studio, right? Devanand, or I think
Navketan Studios. Yeah.
so Devanand had a studio, and they both had been called in for a recording, and both were new to singing. Lata Mangeshkar had sung a little more than Kishore Kumar before that. So Lata Mangeshkar said that I was boarding a local train in Bombay to come to the studio, and I saw this gentleman there sitting right in front of me, and he started waving at me, and I had absolutely no idea who he was. And then he started making weird faces, and matlab, of course he was talking in Hindi and said, उन्होंने बोला कि वो ऐसे अजीबोगरीब फेस बना रहे थे, इशारे कर रहे थे और मैं डर गई क्योंकि मैं अकेली लड़की, मैं ट्रेन में ट्रैवल कर रही हूँ, जा रही हूँ। तो ये सब हुआ तो मैंने उनको अवॉइड किया, आई कांटेक्ट नहीं किया, मैं डर गई। तो जब मेरा स्टेशन आया तो मैं उतर गया। मैं जैसे ही उतरा वो भी उतर गया स्टेशन पे। फिर मैंने एक ऑटो पकड़ा, उसने भी एक ऑटो लिया, वो ऑटो मेरे ऑटो के पीछे। एंड ऐसे होते होते मैं स्टूडियो पहुंची, मैं जहां उतरी वहां पे किशोर को वो भी उतर गया और मैं डर गया और मैं भागने लग गई। So so Lata started running and finally reached the studio and told the music composer कि कोई गुंडा मुझे फॉलो कर रहा है और मुझे कब से वो शक्लें बना रहा है और मुझे फॉलो करे जा रहा है। तो then किशोर came in and then डायरेक्टर ने बोला नहीं ये तो तुम तो इसी के साथ गाना गाने वाली हो आज। So that's how he met Lata Mangeshkar.
Very
And
funny.
and then of course the music director said that ये दादा मुनि का भाई है, and then of course that's like a stamp of approval, right? कि दादा मुनि का भाई है तो पागल नहीं है.
Yeah.
That's one. And the other one was so Lata was talking about Kishore Kumar and said that she's never met a singer like this, so she would be absolutely skeptic and scared going on stage with Kishore Kumar, because the one thing he always did was to lie on the stage and sing. And he would encourage Lata Lata तुम भी relax हो जाओ, relax होकर गाना गाओ. And he would still not miss a sur, still not miss a beat, and he would sing lying down on the stage. And the other thing Lata was scared was his variations. He would just change the music. He would change the entire song or the last stanza, and he would not discuss this with Lata. So Lata was again very professional and straightforward, right? And she would sing it exactly how it was composed. But Kishore would change it, and he would not discuss this with Lata on stage.
On that note, in fact, I heard one interview by Asha Bhosle. All his co-singers used to be very, very tensed when they were about to sing a duet with Kishore Kumar, because as Prince you just said, Kishore Kumar would come into a studio, start his antiques, mannerisms, and all that
Start
stuff.
making jokes, yeah.
Start cracking jokes, and all his co-singers used to laugh like hell, और गला बैठ जाता था.
Yeah. Asha Bhosle used to say that.
Yeah.
Then I used to find it difficult to sing because he would make us laugh so much. Yeah, I've heard. I have a Lata Mangeshkar story as well. So, Kishore Kumar, for a brief 4-5 years in the middle when he was at the top, he would come to the studio, and especially when he did not like the music or he didn't like the song, he would act as if there is a little boy who's walking with him. And he did it for 4-5 years. And what he would do, he would act as that boy, and he would make all the comments that which he would say कि चाचा ये गाना तो अच्छा नहीं है, ये गाना बहुत बेकार है. And he would create this character, and he would run with it. He did it for 4-5 years. He would act as if he's walking with a 5-year-old boy who's making all these comments, which is absolutely crazy. So a couple of other stories, right? So Kishore Kumar again. So there was this producer director who owed Kishore Kumar some money. He was not paying the money for a long time. And then I think Nilanjan, you pointed out earlier, he was duped, with money a number of times. So in fact, outside his house, he had a board which says beware of Kishore Kumar. Like, usually people write beware of dogs. He said he had this written outside his house, beware of Kishore Kumar. And when this producer director, after several years, came to return the money, and he was returning the money to Kishore Kumar actually bit him in the hand and said that, see, I've been telling you have to beware of Kishore Kumar. You delayed my money, and I'm as dangerous as a dog. So he actually bit that director. And another famous incident. So Kishore Kumar, another producer director, Kishore Kumar was having some problem with them. So he actually got a court order that, he has a contract with me, so he has to listen to whatever I said. And Kishore Kumar was sent a court order. So Kishore Kumar now, because he was law bound, he could not go against that order, but he took it to a different level. So he was working for this producer director. So he was giving a shot where he had to, he was driving a car and he had to drive off. So he gave that shot, and the shot ended, and Kishore Kumar from Bombay, he drove all the way to Lonavala. He disappeared. So then this director called him and said, "What happened?" He said, "No, I was following court orders. You did not say cut." So I kept driving and I reached Lonavala. So I mean, these are, you know, some of the Kishore Kumar antics. Some interesting stories regarding the songs, right? So one story I have is so R.D. Burman. He was giving music for Mehbooba, which was a Rajesh Khanna movie, and there was a semi classical song that he had composed, Mere Naina Sawan Bhado. So he came to Kishore Kumar with that song. So when he told Kishore Kumar that I want you to sing this song, Kishore Kumar was like, "Hey, no way, I'm going to sing this song. This is a semi-classical song. You should go to Muhammad Rafi." So he said no the first time, but R.D. Burman kept insisting. So Kishore Kumar then he said that, "Okay, give me like 3 days. Give me the song. I'll hear the song, and then I'll decide." And of course, he went back. He didn't take 3 days. He just heard the song for 1 day, and then he came back and he sang the song in one shot, which is amazing. And we all know how well he sung that song. So this is something about Kishore Kumar. And the lots of interesting stories about Kishore Kumar.
I have another one. This is more related to money, I think. So he had a driver who was also his assistant. He was his agent and everything. So he was like a combination of roles.
Man Friday, right? His Man Friday.
Yeah, his Man Friday. So, like you said, that he's been duped a lot of times where he's not been paid. So he sang the song and he's not paid. Had not received his payment for a number of years. So this was a time where he decided that I'll put my foot down and I'll not sing till the time I get paid. So he reached the studio and he was guaranteed a signing amount, right? But the director, so the producer and the new director was not even talking about money at all. They were directly into the song. This is the song, this is the lyrics, this is the whatever that is. So he's like, नहीं मुझे गाना बहुत difficult है, मैं इसको practice करूँगा जाके अपने room में. तो he had a room. He went inside. 1 घंटा चला गया, 2 घंटे चला गया, वो गाए जा रहा है, गाना गा रहा है, प्रैक्टिस कर रहा है. तो फाइनली मतलब 2-3 बार लोगों को बोला कि किशोर को बुलाओ, हमको रिकॉर्ड करना है. तो he kept telling his assistant कि उसको बोलो कि नहीं मैं तो गा ही नहीं पाऊंगा, मैं प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हूँ अभी. तो फिर फाइनली जाके असिस्टेंट ने बोला कि आप साइनिंग चेक भेजो, वो तुरंत आ जाएंगे. तो जैसे ही साइनिंग चेक गया, he came, one shot, sang it and left 5 minutes में.
Yeah. Any other incidents? Niranjan?
Sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Prince.
No. So the other incident is about Amit Kumar. So when he started singing, right? I think he started singing in the early 80s, right? Amit Kumar. So he's telling the interviewer that so you would think my father would promote me and get me more songs, but he would tell music directors on the call. So if you would receive a call at home saying that कि आपका call आया, तो Kishore would pick it up and then बोलेंगे अमित कुमार है, तो वो बोलेंगे कि अरे उसको गाने में मत लो, वो दोपहर को सोता है. कैसा इंसान दोपहर को सोता है? उसको मत लो गाने में, ड्रॉप कर दो, किसी और को ले लो. कैसा है वो दोपहर में सोता है.
Yeah, I've heard that, especially R.D. Burman once called. So this is prior to Love Story. He was looking for a new voice for Kumar Gaurav. So he called Kishore Kumar's house. Kishore Kumar picked up the phone. So he's like, "Yes, Pancham."
No, not like that. Amit Kumar actually narrates this story well. So R.D.
Burman. Go ahead. You say it if you remember.
I know the story. So they never used to say hi, hello. और इधर से किशोर कुमार जवाब दे रहा है, हाँ. फिर R.D. बर्मन फिर से बोला, हाँ. किशोर कुमार फिर जवाब दे रहा है, हाँ. फिर बोला अमित को बुलाइए. क्यों? नहीं, एक नया लड़का आया है इंडस्ट्री में, उसके लिए मैं एक वॉइस ढूंढ रहा हूँ. मैं हूं ना. नहीं किशोर दा, आपका 40 हो गया. तो
नहीं 40 हो गया नहीं, उस टाइम तो बोला नहीं, आपको मैं अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकता, आपका रेट बहुत हाई है. तो then he said कि नहीं अमित को दो. And tab Prince, the part you said, that was also said there. So Amit ko kyun gwa raha hai? Wo to dophar ko sota hai. So that incident happened. And another thing related to Amit Kumar, but Kishore Kumar never used to say, that Amit Kumar sang well. But after he sang this song, the love story song, Kishore Kumar, all he did was he just nodded his head when he heard the song. He didn't compliment him or anything, but he just said, So that was the stamp of approval for Amit Kumar, that he had done a great job. So many Kishore Kumar stories. I mean, he was an amazing guy. Now, so some interesting trivia about Kishore Kumar. So, I mean, let's see if you guys can guess. So, who is the hero Kishore Kumar has sung the maximum songs for? Any guesses?
Rajesh Khanna.
Rajesh Khanna.
That is right. Rajesh Khanna. He's sung 245 songs for Rajesh Khanna, which is unbelievable, right? One singer.
And the strange part is, I'm pretty sure 200 of them are memorable.
Yeah. But the most surprising name is the second. So who has he sung the second highest number of songs? And at least to me, I would have never guessed that name. But any guesses, guys?
It would be Devanand, I think.
No.
Rishi Kapoor.
No. It's a very surprising name. I would have never guessed. So he's sung the second number of songs for Jitendra.
Wow.
Oh.
So he's sung 245 for Rajesh Khanna, 202 for Jitendra. So which is surprising, right? I mean, Jitendra. I mean, of course, he's sung some really memorable songs for Jitendra. Songs from Musafir Hu Yaro and all those Gulzar movies. He's sung some amazing songs. But again, Jitendra's name I would have never guessed. So Jitendra is second, Amitabh Bachchan is third, 131, and then Devanand fourth, 119 songs. So interesting. I mean, Jitendra's name I would have never guessed. Devanand I would have guessed. Amitabh Bachchan I would have guessed. Rishi Kapoor possibly I would have said. But Jitendra's name, I don't think any of us would have taken his name. So which was really interesting.
The other unique thing I find about Kishore is that, so depending on my mood, if you ask me a question, name some favorite song of Kishore, I would tell you different songs each time. I mean, not completely different, but each time I would probably name some different songs. So, I mean, depending on the time of the day and my mood and the year and the time, each time I would say something different because I'm reminded of some other great song.
Right. And Prince, you make an excellent point. So now to draw parallels, in today's world, if I have to hear, an emotional song, I would possibly listen to Sonu Nigam, right? If I have to hear a happy song, I would listen to Shaan. But Kishore Kumar is one guy where no matter what mood you are, you'll have songs to suit each and every mood, which is again amazing thing about Kishore Kumar. Other thing I want to touch upon is Kishore Kumar at different stages of his career, he all of a sudden decided that he was not going to sing for this actor. So a couple of instances come to mind. 1981, Kishore Kumar was making a movie called, I think, Mamta Ki Chhaav Mein. And there, all the big stars, he wanted them to play cameos. Because of some reason, Amitabh Bachchan refused. So he actually said, I would not sing for Amitabh Bachchan. And this continued for about 2 or 3 years, that he refused to sing for Amitabh Bachchan. In fact, if you look at the movies that released during those times, that is why usually at that time in that 80s, Kishore Kumar was Amitabh Bachchan's voice, right? But if you look at Naseeb, Coolie, Mard, Desh Premi, Kishore Kumar did not sing a single song for Amitabh Bachchan because he had refused. And even Pukar, so R.D. Burman, Kishore Kumar was very close to R.D. Burman. So when he was making the movie Pukar, he again wanted him to sing Amitabh Bachchan's song. He refused. He said, I'll sing for Ranbir Kapoor. And then he sang the song, Bach Ke Rehna Re Baba for him. Then finally, after years, Kishore Kumar called truce when he sang for him in Shahinshah, Andheri Raaton Mein Diya, that song. So that's one incident. He did something similar with Mithun Chakravarti as well. because Mithun married his ex-wife Yogita Bali, he refused to sing for Mithun for a number of years. But then again, of course, they reconciled and he came back. So again, interesting trivia about Kishore Kumar and his life.
I have a slight story there. So he was obviously extremely popular, and all the conventional singers, probably barring Mohammed Rafi, were kind of jealous with him, right? I mean, not jealous, but they were not very happy that a singer who's untrained has been singing so many songs, and he's been lauded as one of the top singers. So Manna Dey was one of them, right? Manna Dey was not a big fan of Kishore Kumar, and unlike Mohammed Rafi, I don't think they had a great equation. So I have two instances. One is, of course, Ek Chatur Nar, in which Manna Dey refused to lose that duel. So he told the director, please change the script. I can't lose in this battle, so I will sing for Sunil Dutt and
make Kishore
Mehmood,
sing for Mehmood.
for
Mehmood was the director.
but-
Mehmood was the
Huh.
director. Yeah.
But that was not possible because Kishore Kumar was a character in the movie, right? And there was no way they would do that. But in another scenario, he fought with the director and made the switch. So Sholay, Ye Dosti, Amitabh Bachchan's voice was supposed to be Kishore Kumar, and Dharmendra's voice was supposed to be Manna Dey. But he said, no, I am an equally good singer. I will sing for the superstar, and Kishore will sing for Dharmendra. And the song was switched. The song was iconic and very nice, but I thought the verse, the
Manna Dey's voice
sang
did
for
not
Amitabh
suit.
Bachchan was very chapa chapa. It
Right.
was very weird. Hearing Amitabh Bachchan in that tone
Manna Dey's
or in
voice.
that baritone. Although Manna Dey was excellent, but I think some singers don't suit some actors in terms of playback.
Right. And interestingly, after Kishore passed away, Manna Dey, speaks very highly of Kishore Kumar. But when he was alive, there was this strain between the two, and most singers, the grouse they had with Kishore Kumar was because he was not trained. So they were like, an untrained singer is getting so much of limelight, and we are not. Okay.
And that continues till now, meaning even now, good singers or great singers like Sonu Nigam also don't pay the same amount of respect to Kishore as they do to Mohammed Rafi. Although, I get it, because Sonu Nigam has modeled his voice on Mohammed Rafi, and he finds him better. That's his personal choice. But a lot of times he's quoted on television that, greats. So he would say something like great singers like Mohammed Rafi and Manna Dey, and he would not name Kishore at all. So that jealousy continues.
But if you look at this, even Sonu Nigam's stance has kind of changed now. If you hear his recent interviews, he's very complimentary towards Kishore Kumar. There is one interview I heard of Sonu Nigam where he said, even in some of my songs, I have sung it the way Kishore Kumar has sung. So one of the examples he gave was the Suraj Hua Madhyam song. The Antara part, he's sung like Kishore Kumar. If you look at the pitch, and he sings it with the baritone, right? Because the Mukhra is very, very Sonu Nigam. But then in Antara, where he takes that pitch, right? Ye khoobsurat hai pal, that's Kishore Kumar style. So he's actually mentioned that song, and then he mentioned another song. The song was from Vastav. He sang a song where he's like, I sang it like Kishore Kumar. So now lately he has been more as Sonu Nigam started getting less work. I think he's getting more complimentary towards Kishore Kumar.
He's become more gracious. And yeah, sorry, go ahead.
In fact, Sonu Nigam sings Kishore Kumar songs in his stage shows. What more can you tell?
Yeah. He does. In fact, there are a lot of YouTube videos where Sonu Nigam is singing one section of his concert is where he sings Kishore Kumar songs.
Another person he doesn't give his due is Kumar Sanu. So a lot of his early 90s songs were based of how Kumar Sanu would sing his songs, because there were such big hits that some of his songs, even now, if you see, are a little nasal. And not now, maybe in the early 2000s and late 90s, he would make it a little nasal because Kumar Sanu was such a big hit that he would model his songs on that.
In fact, Lata Mangeshkar named Kumar Sanu as Royal Bengal Tiger.
Yeah.
आके market में आके सबको खा गया.
And another, I mean, I don't want to deviate too much from Kishore Kumar, but then Asha Bhosle had said that in the current generation, if there is one singer who doesn't, whose sur is very pakka, she mentioned Kumar Sanu.
Yeah, in an Indian Idol show, she said कि ये इंसान कभी सुर से जाता नहीं, इसको तुम नींद से उठा दो, ये तब भी सुर में गाएगा.
Exactly. And it's interesting. And even last year when I went for the concert, Alka Yagnik, Udit Narayan and Kumar Sanu, Udit Narayan and Alka Yagnik, their voices have deteriorated, but Kumar Sanu's voice is still the best among the three. On live stage, he was still sounding really good.
See, speaking of Kishore Kumar's contribution to Bengali cinema, right?
Yeah.
Now, after Hemanto Mukherjee passed away, there was a period when Taposh Pal and Ranjit Mollik and all those heroes were ruling the roost, right? So, and Kishore Kumar had slightly aged at that point in time. He was past his 55, 60s maybe. But the way he sang some of those songs, like Taposh Pal at that time was a young guy, right? But the songs suited, like Guru Dakhina, for example.
Guru Dakhina,
I'm talking of that era.
Right.
Now, there's one thing which I read in one of those film magazines, and I heard also that in spite of being the money-minded person that Kishore Kumar was, he sang quite a few songs free because he was so he was so moved with those songs, right? One song was Agar Tum Na Hote, Hame Aur Jeene Ki.
Yeah. Amazing song. Yeah.
So amazing song. He did not charge any money for that. And there was another song. The music director was Ajay Das, Shukhen Das's bhai, younger brother. It's from a Bengali movie called Amor Kontok. And the song is Tumi Ma Amake Prithivi Reyalo Dekhiye Chile. So this was a song which and in fact for all the songs in that movie, he did not charge a single penny. Because they were so touchy songs.
Yeah. So, again, I since you talk about Kishore Kumar's contribution to Bengali movies and Bengali music, for Provashi Bangalis like us, I mean, we grew up outside Bengal, right? Prince, me, and a lot of other. For us, honestly, we didn't have a lot of access to Bengali music back in the days, right? Because we didn't have the internet. We didn't, get to hear a lot of Bengali songs. Right. Honestly, our introduction to even Robindra Sangeet was through Kishore Kumar, because Kishore Kumar used to sing, all those Robindra Sangeet, and that was our introduction to that. So he's actually played a major role, especially for, Provashi Bangalis, of knowing Bengali music as well, especially Robindra Sangeet. Honestly, most of the Robindra Sangeet that I had heard for the first 15 years of my life were Kishore Kumar, was only sung by Kishore Kumar, because, we had, that was the only access we had. So he's played a major role. Again, folks who grew up in Bengal, I mean, they had access to a lot of other singers, who used to sing Robindra Sangeet. But for us, it was mainly Kishore Kumar. So that he played a huge role, in us knowing Bengali music, especially Robindra Sangeet. So that's something I definitely want to talk about.
I think it's a combination of R.D. Burman and Kishore Kumar who has kind of given us a peek into the Bengali industry, because R.D. Burman used to make the same song in Bengali and in Hindi. And for me, who a person who was born in the late 80s and then grew up in the 90s, my connection with Bengali songs, as he said, was of course Robindra Sangeet, sung by Kishore Kumar, as well as R.D. Burman's remakes, right? So he would make a Bengali number, it would be a hit, and then he would make a Hindi number.
So those were called Pujo Shankha songs, right? Pujo Shankha songs used to come. So the way this used to work, and R.D. Burman was not so this was started way back by Shalil Chaudhary, S.D. Burman, R.D. Burman, everybody did that. So they were called Pujo Shankha. They would release during Durga Puja, and the songs that became hit in Bangla then used to be made in Hindi. So this was done by all these top music directors. And in fact, the songs that would run well in Bangla, all of them would become super hits in Hindi also. So that was a tradition started by, I think, the likes of Salil Chaudhary and those music directors, and then of course R.D. Burman kind of continued that. Another Bangla song I really like about Kishore Kumar, of course, was it was a duet with Asha Bhosle, the Amar Shangi song. So that was also very popular in Kolkata, right? I mean, that was a huge hit with Prosenjit and I think it was Shatabdi or Devoshri, I don't remember, but again, that was another song.
So I actually find, I mean, I shouldn't say this, but I mean, I have to be honest on a podcast, I guess. But I'm not a big fan of the Rabindra Sangeet style of singing. So all the traditional singers who sing Rabindra Sangeet, I'm not a big fan of that because the style of singing is a little morose. In fact, Kishore Kumar completely turned those songs into, I guess, a little commercial. Maybe the purist would say that he is not singing in the same style as the other traditional Rabindra Sangeet singers. But I actually like the commercial version more than anything. Like I also like Babul Supriyo's version of Rabindra Sangeet. So maybe because it's my generation, maybe I was born a little later. So the actual authentic style of singing those songs, for me, is a little morose and sad. So,
yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, Kishore Kumar's voice was such, even a song that I wouldn't, maybe if it's another singer would sing it, I would not like. Kishore Kumar's voice kind of makes me like those songs, which is very weird to say, right? Because his voice and there is, especially like I said, the baritone was something that I really loved about Kishore Kumar. And anybody who sings who has a heavy voice like you do, Nilanjan, I really like that, because in my head it's always Kishore Kumar is the gold standard, right? So that heavy baritone, anybody who has that kind of baritone, I really like. I'm not a big fan of the thin voices, and unfortunately, I have a thin voice, but I always like the Kishore Kumar kind of voice. So that's another thing amazing about Kishore Kumar.
I have an observation on this. So the one thing I always notice when I hear Kishore Kumar songs is that when you hear a song, there's an illusion that he's singing acoustic, which means I don't hear the music. I'm just hearing his voice, which is so weird because you have such good compositions, right? But when he's singing a song like O Sathi Re, right? I mean, that O Sathi song from Muqaddar Ka Sikandar, it's so haunting, right? And the music is so good. But when he's singing his stanzas, I zone out and I'm not hearing the music at all.
True,
it
absolutely.
Almost seems that he's singing without music, or it's an acoustic version, meaning there's no...
He's unplugged. He's singing unplugged.
Unplugged.
I mean, I could not have put it better the way you put it, Prince. I mean, Kishore Kumar's voice is such that you don't seem to hear anything else other than his voice, which is amazing. Yeah, you put it very beautifully. I mean, I don't think nobody could have put it that well. So, okay, I know we've been on for it for a while. So this is the most difficult part. So top of your head, each of us need to pick our 3 favorite Kishore Kumar songs. I know it's impossible. I mean, there are thousands of songs, but I want you to pick 3. So Nilanjan, you go first. Prince, you go second.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me time.
Because I'm the host, I get a little more time to think.
It is indeed extremely tough question because there are so many great songs. But as I said, Zindagi Ka Safar happens to be my favorite. I mean, no doubt about it. Then another song with a message is Jeevan Ke Din Chote Sahi.
Yeah, love it.
And the other song is Aaj Ei Din Take. Because see, if you look at that song, it's talking about today. Don't think about future, don't think about past, live in the present. आज के दिन तो जियो, उसके बाद तो देखा जाएगा.
Okay, excellent choices. Prince?
Thank you for giving me 15. Thank you for giving me 15 extra seconds. So I think just as a tribute to Kishore Kumar, I'll pick 3 very different songs that just to show his, I mean, you don't have to show his versatility, but so the first song I like is Fir Wahi Raat Hai. That's one of my favorite. I absolutely love that song. The second is a sad song, which is from Millie, which is
Badi Suni
uh,
Suni.
Badi Suni Suni hai. And the third, I would pick a peppy number because Kishore Kumar was the bap of peppy numbers. This Karz title, I mean the Karz song, Rishi Kapoor song, Om Bolo Om Shan, Meri Umar ke Naujawano. So these are the three,
Excellent.
and I will change that every single time you ask me that.
Yeah, I mean
the answer
that
will
is going to
change.
happen to Kishore Kumar. Right. So again, it's very difficult. I got so much extra time, but still I'm kind of struggling to choose three. But here goes. So the first one I'm going to pick is from Padosan, Kehna Hai, Ye Pehli Baar. That's one. The second song I'm going to pick, I'm trying to pick, the not so popular ones. So there is another song which I don't know if you guys have heard. It's a song called the song goes like it's from Jungle Mein Mangal. So the song goes like Tum itni khoobsurat ho ye mere dil se poocho. So that's another song. Again, not a very popular song, but I really love that. And then of course the third song is from a movie called Lahu Ke Doran. It's called Muskurata Hua Dil Churata Hua Mera Yaar. So I'll pick these three songs for now. But as Prince said, and anytime you think about a Kishore Kumar song, there are so many gems that different songs are going to come every time to your head every time you think about Kishore Kumar.
Right. In fact, he has so many great songs. Right. This question itself is an invalid question.
I agree. That's why I said this is possibly the most difficult question to answer for this podcast. Okay, so before we wrap this up, again, with Kishore Kumar, so I have a couple of friends who wanted to be on this episode but could not. We might have to do a part 2 of this sometime in the future, but we will do that. With Kishore Kumar, I don't think there is any shortage of material. There's so much to talk about, so much to discuss. But let's end it with each one of us singing at least a few lines of a Kishore Kumar song. So this time let's change the order. Prince, you go first.
Okay. फिर वही रात है, फिर वही रात है ख्वाब की, रात भर ख्वाब में देखा करेंगे तुम्हें, फिर वही रात है. Thank you.
Excellent. Lovely song and very well sung. Nilanjan, you go next.
You go.
Okay, I'll go next then. Okay, which song? I'll sing the Bemisal song. किसी बात पर मैं किसी से खफा हूँ, मैं जिंदा हूँ पर जिंदगी से खफा हूँ, खफा हूँ, किसी बात पर मैं किसी से खफा हूँ. Okay, Nilanjan, you go next.
Okay. No,
Excellent.
as you two guys were singing, I was actually thinking that which one I should sing. But chalo. जीवन से भरी तेरी आंखें मजबूर करे जीने के लिए सागर भी तरसते रहते हैं, तेरे रूप का रस पीने के लिए जीवन से भरी तेरी आंखें.
Excellent. Thank you. We are ending it.
Clearly we know who the singer is here.
Exactly. No doubts. No, I have no, of course, Prince, you also sing really well, but yeah, Nilanjan.
See, I think
Is-
all of us are bathroom singers, and all of us.
No, but the difference is I'm a bathroom singer who's possibly singing in a bathroom in in one of the बोले ना कूड़े घोड़े bathroom में. Prince is singing in a nice apartment's bathroom, and you are singing in a mansion's bathroom. So that's the difference. We are all bathroom singers, but different kinds of bathrooms. Okay, so let's end it on this note again. Thank you. Loved the discussion on Kishore. I know we could have gone for hours. Again, thanks Nilanjan, thanks Prince for joining, and again, folks, please subscribe to our channel. We'll be doing a lot more podcasts in the future. We'll talk about not only music, movies, and we'll also talk about other topics. One of the topics I want to do in the future is maybe talk about eating places in Calcutta, or food. So I want to cover a plethora of topics as part of this channel. So our next episode would possibly be movies. So any ideas you have of what we could discuss actors, or we could discuss directors. Some of the names that come to mind. We could do one session talking about Hrishikesh Mukherjee movies. We could talk about Satyajit Ray. We could talk about Quentin Tarantino. We could talk about all the great directors. So more to come in future sessions. But again, thank you guys. I had a lot of fun. Hope you all did as well. And to all the viewers, please support us. Subscribe to our channel. Share it with friends. The idea is again to get as much views as possible, so that, and also give us ideas of what sessions we could do in the future. We have another channel, a cricket channel called Cricketing Shenanigans. I'll be posting another podcast today. Another note, well-known stand-up comic Anirban Dasgupta, he's supposed to come to one of our podcasts. So I'm trying to work the dates with him. As soon as I get a confirmation, I got a message from him today that he wants to do it in December. So hopefully, he told me he'll be giving me a date very soon. So I'll share the information. The good thing with Anirban is we can talk cricket, we can talk movies. There was a Amazon Prime show called Afsos. So he also wrote that show. So he's a very interesting guy. If you haven't seen his stand-up videos, they are very, very funny. They are on YouTube. He has a stand-up special on Prime. It's called Take It Easy. You guys should watch that. It's really funny. He's a very smart comedian. Really love his content, his style. So more to come on that. As soon as he confirms the dates, he'll be on one of our podcasts. So hope to have him pretty soon. That's it for today. Thank you guys. I am signing off. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thanks Abhishek for hosting this.